Magnetic fields create torus shapes, and you see this beautifully. This is what a perfectly balanced toroidal magnetic field looks like. Perfectly balanced from the top and from below. It spins one way from the top and the same way from the bottom. It's not positive and negative. We've misinterpreted it as positive and negative. It's the same spin in opposite directions that create that perfect balance. And what happens at the center, this line here, is known as the accretion disk. That's where the energies meet and they move in opposite directions, creating the energy. Most likely the friction that is part of creating the energy of the magnetic field, a perfectly balanced magnetic field. There you can see a balanced, complete magnetic torus with its accretion disk at the center, emits energy as matter in a disk. This is really important because when we're studying solar systems and the galaxy, we see solar disks. And we see the study of solar disks are very well defined. It goes on and on and on, and how solar disks are formed. The most detailed image ever of a young star is protoplanetary disk. We read this all over the place. And now they're talking about silica and water in protoplanetary disks that are moving in opposite directions, creating spin in opposite directions. This is fantastic, people. Unbelievable. Galactic Toruses. Solar systems are Toruses, galaxies are Toruses. We read about galactic disks, thousands of images of galactic disks floating around in space. Here's an accretion disk of a so-called galaxy or black hole that they just recently found. Dynamics of galactic disks. This is what when you start studying this stuff, it's all about Toruses and the galactic disks, the accretion disks. And we are told the magnetic fields are created by the molten core, some molten iron at the center of the core. That's another lie, because it seems that the sound of the earth actually creates the magnetic field. It's the sound of the earth. We know that the earth rings like a bell, never stops. It's not the molten core. It's just a lie. But this is a bit of a problem, because with the earth's magnetic model, we seem to have half a magnet floating around in space. You've seen from the galactic disk, the solar disks, all of them are perfectly balanced toroidal fields. Everything manifests in toroidal fields, from subatomic particles to sound to light, everything. We've seen solar systems as toroidal fields. We see galaxies as toroidal fields. How can the Earth be the exception to the rule? When we look at magnetic toruses visible under a ferrocell lens, we see the beautiful lines of magnetic fields. Suddenly they become visible. And when you bring a magnetic effect, when you bring a magnet into a ferrofluid, you see these little cones that just come up out of everywhere. And you see the effect of nature, sound and magnetism on nature. And then speaker magnets under ferrocell lens, what do you see? Tiny little cones facing the center. What does that remind you of? Of that dude's wristwatch. And we start seeing a very important connection here of sound, magnets, and the technology that these guys used. So it seems that everything is just a vibration and frequency until we look at it and observe it. And then it takes on this particle substance. It becomes matter. It becomes physical for us to see. It seems like our consciousness and the observation actually converts the resonance around us into physical manifestation of particles.